Respect for your time, valuing your hard work, accomplishments, and rewards that matter. Things that playing World of Warcraft will not give you. Yet for some reason, it feels like it does. For more reasons than there are words, Classic is one of the most beloved versions of World of Warcraft. Every player will tell you a different reason for why they love Classic, and why they refuse to play Retail or refuse to play Wrath of the Lich King past Ulduar. Mainly because you realize that you don't want all your gear to be invalidated within a patch or two, or that you don't really want to raid Ulduar or Icecrown Citadel for 2 years. But most of those reasons can be condensed into the 3 reasons I provided at the very beginning. A large population of Classic's player base grew up with these games and have a very deep and compelling memory of a better time, and a time that rewarded your sweatiness and your hard work. And even though Dragonflight is one of the best versions of World of Warcraft in a long time, not counting the story, because while Dragonflight wasn't bad, it was disappointing by the power and friendship and all that. Now, while WoW's story has been terrible for quite some time, that's not the reason the player base of Classic won't play it. It's just simply not World of Warcraft for a lot of people, not anymore. The soul of what makes Warcraft has been lost to us, and you can feel that the longer you play into Classic's life cycle, even Wrath of the Lich King is the same. The community, the player base, the very way we play the game has shifted to a way that makes each continued iteration of Classic somehow worse than it was before. And it's precisely because of that the return of Chris Metzen has Retail WoW's future looking bright. And even more than that, it's the reason Season of Discovery is so popular and beloved. And you're gonna see a billion comments saying Season of Discovery is terrible, worst game, it's boring, ignore them. A lot of people just spend a lot of their time hating for no reason. Even if some of those criticisms are valid, but most of them aren't. Because it gives us, the player base, what we want the most. A World of Warcraft that is a continuation of what made WoW special and stand out in comparison to most other MMOs. Whilst I can't speak for Retail at the moment because I have no clue what's going to happen, for Season of Discovery I can absolutely say that this is the best version of Warcraft in a long time. Some of you may disagree, and I'd like to hear your reasons for why in the comments below. Assault has done exactly what I wanted for Classic to feel fresh and unique. We are a little over 3 months into Season of Discovery, and in that time we have 2 new level up raids, a dozen new crafting recipes, professions feeling compelling, the world being full and active, a whole new reputation, which is a little lackluster, and then 2 massive new PvP events, which despite their massive problems has been an overall success in terms of new gameplay and elements. Nonetheless, when you consider that the massive success of Season of Discovery, even just now before the product is even finished, you can see how much hope and fun is crammed into it. Season of Mastery, the predecessor of SOD, was okay, but it was simply a harder classic without much more to it. If the jump from Season of Mastery to Season of Discovery was so massive, can you imagine the future? We already know we're getting even more content between now and the end of the Season of Discovery. We have Phase 3 being Sunken Temple remastered into a new level up raid, and perhaps another new PvP event, but I'm not sure if there will be one, we'll have to wait and see. The roadmap doesn't show another PvP event, so I don't want to say that there will be one, but there could be. And then potentially we have Karazhan Crypt in Phase 4, if not one of the other remastered dungeons that they can pick from. A whole new raid that has never been seen before and is a completely original idea. There are so many unique ways and things they can do. Hearthglen for more Scarlet Crusade stuff, Karazhan for Medivh and the creepiness, and other places throughout Azeroth that could be these unique new raids that people want. And even though these are ideas from the original vanilla alpha and beta, which was scrapped due to a lack of time, things are being brought back for Season of Discovery. And it's the very first foray into Classic Plus, and the whole new content in a large scale we're utilizing not a pre-existing place or location, but a whole new one. And yes, you can get to Karazhan Crypts by getting out of bounds and exploring the creepy and wondrous idea it could have been. Same thing with Hearthglen and all these other places. But we aren't getting a scrapped and abandoned or lightly used location. We're getting a fully fledged new location that is also a level up raid. Now what that location will be is up to debate, because we thought we were getting SM for Phase 3 and we got Sunken Temple instead. So I'm not going to play that guessing game, but it's going to be insane and awesome regardless. And that is massive for the player base and game as a whole, because it shows that the developers are able to continue to develop Classic WoW. As fun as the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King are, they are not Classic WoW. They are a continuation, no matter how close they are on paper. It is the Classic formula, but changed to be fitting for that particular expansion. A Classic private server, a TBC private server, and a Wrath of the Lich King private server are 3 different games, even if they are built upon the predecessors. And as a Classic player and someone who is wholly invested into the Season of Discovery, I can say that this path and future is exciting beyond words. Because once Season of Discovery ends, and it will. We already know that there are 5 phases as of now, and whilst they might expand upon it by virtue of its name, it's seasonal content, so it will end. But when it does, it will lead into something far bigger and better, and that thing is Classic Plus, a dream that many people have had for a long time. In fact, they've dreamed about it for so long that there are well over a dozen private servers all claiming themselves to be the successors of Classic WoW, Total WoW being the biggest of them all as of now. Season Discovery has shown us how popular Classic with extra stuff is, and Classic Plus has the potential to help Classic explode in popularity in a way that very few could predict. Nobody expected Classic when it came out in 2019 to be as massive as it is. Well, a lot of people did, but a lot of people doubted it. And here we are. It is a huge part of WoW's modern day player base. Now, whether they'll do Classic Plus correctly, that's debatable considering how many mistakes Blizzard has made in the past decade, including the recent but very apparent lack of customer support, which is atrocious for a company that brings in as much money as Blizzard and Microsoft do. I'm not going to talk about the ban situation in depth, but even if 10% of the bans are false and unjustified, being unable to reach someone who can actually check and verify is a terrible situation. Blizzard, you need customer support, and it's a travesty that you don't have it. Nonetheless, if the Season of Discovery team is in charge of Classic Plus, I actually have very high hopes. Agron and his team have done an amazing job talking to us, discussing things, and telling us why they do things, which is a needed breath of fresh air for World of Warcraft in general. Predicting Classic Plus and what it will be though, like I said, is a dangerous slope because it could be so many different things. Vanilla WoW Remastered, similar to Cataclysm updating the game world, but instead of changing like Cataclysm changed it, it would still be vanilla. Or just going with the original extra content like Hyjal, Ajara Crater, Caverns of Time, Gilneas, Gil'jaar's Isle, Grimbatol, Rank 15, which is really cool by the way, and more. Things as simple as Stratholme leading into Naxxramas like it was intended but for some reason changed. There are so many raids, dungeons, PvP instances, questlines, open world locations, and more that got removed, changed, scrapped, or abandoned. And that is the reason that Season of Discovery and Classic Plus is so popular and will be so popular. People simply want Classic, they just want more Classic. Just like old school RuneScape is simply old school RuneScape with more. Classic doesn't have to turn into the Burning Crusade and onward, it simply needs to be Classic Plus. So thank you for partaking in this massive dosage of copium. If you want more copium, subscribe, like this video, and then watch this video right here. Thank you all for watching, Ebonhard out. And for those of you curious why I sound like I have a lisp, I fought a bee and I lost.